Welcome back to Investing Talk Podcast. Today, we're going to be taking a look at Oriental Rise Holdings.
Oh, interesting.
Ticker symbol ORIS. This one has been making some serious noise on the market lately.
Yeah, you know what's fascinating about this company is their recent IPO. They debuted with a 50% surge in price on their very first day of trading.
Really?
Yeah, that's a pretty impressive entrance, you know?
Definitely caught my eye too, but,
Yeah.
it's not all smooth sailing.
Right.
There are some mixed signals around ORIS.
Yeah.
On one hand, their market position and those ambitious growth plans have investors excited,
Right.
but some technical indicators are suggesting we might want to tap the brakes a little.
It's true. There are definitely two sides to this story.
Okay.
That's what makes it so interesting to analyze.
So let's unpack this.
Yeah.
First things first.
Sure.
What does Oriental Rise Holdings actually do?
They specialize in cultivating and processing white tea. Yeah.
Why is that such a big deal?
Because it sets them apart in a crowded beverage market.
Okay.
Think about it.
Yeah.
Everyone and their cousin is jumping on the bubble tea trend, right?
Right.
But Oriental Rise Holdings is carving out their own niche with this focus on white tea. It's a smart move.
So they're zigging while everyone else is zagging.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it seems to be paying off.
Okay.
Their stock price has jumped up 41.83% recently,
Wow.
hitting $2.17.
Okay.
And the trading volume, over 30 million shares.
Wow.
Suggests investors are really taking notice.
So there's definitely demand.
Yeah.
And it sounds like they have big plans to capitalize on that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They're using the funds from their IPO to expand their operations significantly.
Oh, okay.
We're talking a 50% increase in cultivation land and a brand new processing plant. What's interesting is they've actually had to turn down orders recently
Oh, really?
because they simply don't have the capacity to meet demand.
Wow. That's a good problem to have.
Yeah.
But you mentioned some cautionary signals earlier.
Right.
Can you elaborate on that? What should we be looking out for?
Right. Let's look at the technical analysis. And this is where things get a bit tricky because we're seeing mixed signals.
Okay.
Some indicators are leaning bearish while others are more neutral.
Can you break that down for us?
Sure.
What does that actually mean for someone who's considering investing in ORIS?
Let's start with the bearish signals.
Okay.
Their moving averages, the 5-day, the 10-day, and the 20-day,
Yeah.
are all above the current price, which is hovering around $2.21.
Okay.
We're talking about $6.53 and $8.10 for the 10 and 20-day averages, respectively.
Okay.
That's typically a sign that the stock might be headed for a dip.
Okay, so short term,
Yeah.
there are some potential bumps in the road.
Possibly.
Yeah.
We also need to consider the mass CD, which is currently at a negative value of mags of more 0.87.
Okay.
Think of the mass CD as a momentum indicator. A negative value suggests that the momentum is shifting downwards, kind of like a car losing speed.
Not exactly a glowing endorsement so far.
Right.
But you said there were some neutral indicators too.
Yes.
Right.
And this is where it gets interesting.
Okay.
The RSI, or Relative Strength Index, is sitting at 45.81.
Oh, okay.
This puts it right in the middle,
Okay.
suggesting that ORIS isn't overbought or oversold. It's kind of in a holding pattern.
Okay.
Imagine it like a tug of war. Neither side is winning at the moment.
So it could go either way from here.
Exactly.
Okay.
It all comes down to what triggers that next big move. And speaking of triggers,
Yeah.
there are a couple of other indicators flashing some potentially bullish signals.
Okay.
The kind that make you think a rebound might be on the horizon.
Okay, this is where my ears perk up.
Okay.
Tell me more.
We've got the Williams per SAR, which is currently at a very low 99.67.
Okay.
This suggests that ORIS might be oversold.
Mm.
It's like finding a valuable antique at a bargain price. It's probably worth more than it's currently being valued at.
All right, so that's one point of the bullish column.
Right.
What else are we looking at?
The Commodity Channel Index, or CCI,
Okay.
is also giving us a similar signal.
Okay.
It's sitting at Neclar 103.36,
Okay.
which echoes what the Williams per SAR is telling us.
Yeah.
ORIS is deep in oversold territory, and there's a chance we could see an upward correction soon.
So we've got these conflicting signals,
Right.
bearish moving averages and man CD,
Mm-hmm.
but then bullish hints from the Williams per SAR and CCI.
Yeah.
what's an investor to make of all this?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
It certainly is.
Yeah.
What's your take? How do you make sense of all this information and come to a conclusion?
ORIS is clearly operating in a volatile market, which always adds a layer of complexity. But here's what stands out to me.
Okay.
They have a unique market position with this focus on white tea,
Yeah.
an aggressive growth strategy, and the demand to back it up. To me, that creates a very interesting scenario.
I see what you're saying. They seem to have all the right ingredients for success,
Yeah,
but the market is being a bit unpredictable right now.
that's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
So for now, I'd recommend a hold position.
Okay.
Keep a close eye on ORIS,
Right.
monitor the price action, and watch those key indicators we've talked about.
Okay, so hold for now, but stay vigilant.
Right.
What should investors be looking for specifically? What are those triggers that might signal a buy or sell decision?
The upcoming earnings report on February 21st, 2025 is going to be crucial.
Okay.
That's when we'll get a much clearer picture of their financial health and how those growth plans are translating into actual revenue.
So February 21st is a date to circle on the calendar.
Yes.
What kind of numbers should we be hoping to see?
Keep a close eye on revenue growth,
Okay.
profitability,
Right.
and any updates on their expansion plans.
Okay.
Strong numbers in those areas could be a sign to jump in.
And on the flip side, what kind of red flags should we be watching out for?
If the earnings report disappoints,
Okay.
if their growth stalls,
Hmm.
or if they encounter any roadblocks with their expansion, that would definitely raise some concerns.
Okay, got it. Strong earnings, good.
Yeah,
Weak earnings, not so good.
right.
Seems pretty straightforward.
Pretty much. But remember, the market can be unpredictable.
Right.
That's why it's so important to stay informed.
Yeah.
Do your research and never invest more than you can afford to lose.
Solid advice.
Yeah.
Now let's zoom out a bit.
Okay.
You mentioned earlier that Oriental Rise Holdings is kind of going against the grain,
Right.
especially when we compare them to the broader market for small cap stocks in China.
Right.
Can you tell us more about that?
Sure. We've seen a bit of a downturn in that sector recently.
Yeah.
But Oriental Rise Holdings, with its unique focus on a more traditional product like white tea, seems to be weathering the storm a bit better than others.
It's almost like they're operating in a different market dynamic altogether.
I think that's a fair assessment.
Yeah.
They're not trying to compete directly with the bubble tea craze.
Right.
They're offering something different, something with a sense of history and tradition, which seems to be resonating with investors.
It's fascinating how they've managed to carve out this unique space for themselves.
It is. It speaks to the power of differentiation and finding your niche in a crowded market.
All right, so we've covered a lot of ground here today on Investing Talk Podcast.
We have.
We've talked about Oriental Rise Holdings' background, their recent performance,
Right.
those key technical indicators, the upcoming earnings report,
Yeah.
and their overall market position.
Right.
What are the key takeaways you want our listeners to walk away with?
I think the biggest takeaway is that Oriental Rise Holdings is a company with a lot of potential. They've got a unique product,
Yeah.
ambitious plans,
Right.
and strong investor interest. But they're also operating in a volatile market with some mixed signals.
So proceed with caution, but don't write them off just yet.
Exactly. It's a situation that requires careful monitoring and a bit of a wait-and-see approach.
All right, folks. There you have it. Everything you need to know about Oriental Rise Holdings.
Yeah.
For now, at least.
And remember, this is just a starting point.
Right.
Do your own research.
Yes.
Check out the resources we've mentioned.
Yeah.
And stay tuned for more updates as the story develops.
And speaking of staying tuned,
Right.
don't forget to subscribe to Investing Talk Podcast.
Yes.
For more in-depth analysis of the companies making headlines, we have tons of great content coming your way.
And if you found this episode helpful, we'd love for you to share it with anyone who might be interested in ORIS.
Yeah.
Let's spread the knowledge.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And don't forget to leave a comment below and let us know your thoughts.
Yeah.
Are you bullish or bearish on ORIS? What are your predictions for their future?
Right.
We love hearing from our listeners.
Thanks for tuning in, everyone.
Until next time, happy investing.